What did we learn from the game against Leicester City away? Now that everyone is on international break, we're here to break down what we learned. 7 things. So, welcome to the Takeaway Show. Manchester United won Leicester City 3-0, and it was a much needed boost for the team, basically, heading into the international break as we climbed to 13th in the Premier League table. I mean, sad for us to hear, seeing as we are usually in the top half of the table, but at this point of the season, with 9 games to go, we're 13th, and the game actually saw key players stand up, step up. I mean, Rasmus Hojlund got a goal, Alejandro Garnacho got a goal to end. They are both ending their goal droughts, and then Bruno Fernandes, continued his exceptional form. But here are 7 key takeaways from the game. Basically, Rasmus Hojlund ends his goal drought. I means first goal of 2025. Rasmus has scored his first Premier League goal since early December. Ending a 21 game goalless streak. He had a well taking right footed shot on his weaker foot, you know, assisted by Bruno Fernandes, obviously, as I stated in the match preview when I said he was the key player to watch for the game. And then, it was actually a reminder of the quality of his potential. Basically, Manchester United fans are quick to or are impatient to allow this player thrive. I hear people even like literally on Saturday. I heard people say, "Oh, Rasmus Hojlund is useless. He's a useless player. He doesn't score." Blah 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 blah. Forgetting that he's 22, he's even yet to reach his peak. And if he's yet to reach his peak and he's carrying a club like Manchester United on his back, then you can basically see that there is a lot of potential. There's a player in there. He just needs to evolve his game. But Man United fans and other fans alike, especially in the Premier League, you watch all the things and hear all the things on social media, and you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at what they say about Rasmus Hojlund. You'll be surprised at what fans say about Rasmus Hojlund. And then it makes you think that the player is such a horrible player. And it's not his fault that basically he was bought at the 72 million pounds or 60 whatever million pounds it was from Atlanta. But it is what it is. But it was a confidence boost for him. A huge confidence boost, which has also shown that he had struggled for consistency this season. His movement and his composure in front of goal was also encouraging, and an encouraging sign for the future, as I said. And we saw that in the 2 legs, over the 2 legs against Real Sociedad, and they were seeing it. And hopefully we reap the fruits of his hard work and his tenacity and his application. Then number 2 takeaway is basically Alejandro Garnacho back among the goals again. You know, there's a stat out there that states that Alejandro Garnacho has more shots on goal per match than any Manchester United player in the squad. Obviously, the only attacking or one of the only or one of the few attacking or potent attacking outlets that we have, the bright sparks we have this season. Garnacho has scored his first Premier League goal since November as well, showing his ability to bounce back after a disallowed goal earlier in the game. I mean, even during the match review by pundits, they were mixing Rasmus Hojlund's goal drought to Alejandro Garnacho's goal drought, but they forget that Alejandro Garnacho is also involved in in chance creation as well as assists. So it's not like he's not been involved in goals. So if you look at his goal involvement this season, you could tell that he has evolved as a player. He has contributed to the team in different ways. It's just only in the Premier League alone. Yeah, this season he's actually scored 4 goals and he has 1 assist just in the Premier League alone this season. That's 5 goal contributions just in the Premier League. And then if we had to go by like all the other competitions he's played, you could tell that he has contributed to the team in more ways than we could ever imagine. Creating assists and all of that. So yeah, it's a bright it's a bright future for the guy. Garnacho's energy and directness, basically on the wing. is key to United's attacking play. I mean, Amorim said that now he's even evolving into playing on both sides of the field. So, I mean, he's just 20 years old, and he continues to show why he's considered one of the club's most exciting young talents. I mean, he has a quick and powerful reaction and powerful finish that highlights, his attacking instinct. Alejandro Garnacho is one for the future. Still has a lot to show. Yeah, he still has a lot to show. He has a lot to show to prove himself for the club and all of that. And then number 3 is Bruno Fernandes Masterclass. Bruno Fernandes Masterclass again. So I could tag this the Bruno Show. I mean, a goal and 2 assists. But Fernandes once again, the standout performer, scoring a stunning goal and providing 2 assists. I mean, his vision, creativity, and leadership, were instrumental in United's dominance, basically. It's also a milestone achievement for him because he has reached 50 goals, 50 Premier League assists, becoming the 6th Man United player to achieve this feat. He also surpassed Ruud van Nistelrooy in Premier League goal involvement for United, 112 Premier League goal involvement, cementing his status as a club legend. Yeah, there I said it. He should be cemented as a club legend, even in our banter era, as other fans will call it, or rival fans will call it. Bruno Fernandes has shown himself for back-to-back seasons. So far this season, 31 goal contributions from Bruno alone. 31 goal contributions. That is an absolutely amazing feat for Man United, especially, right? So, if we're to go by basically his stats so far this season, general stats and all of that, it makes good for reading, right? It makes good for reading. So, Bruno Fernandes, man of the match performance, absolutely amazing, um, absolutely amazing player involved. And then another point to note is that basically, as I stated, he has played 44 games, 3,749 minutes, and he has scored 16 goals and he has assisted 15. 16 goals, 15 assists. That is amazing. I mean, for a player that is being dubbed, I mean, I've heard other channels say he's a, when that, I think during Tenag's era, he said he's a net negative. That's the word I heard. Net negative for this club. For someone who carries the club on his back alone. His back must be breaking. But they say he's a net negative. It's crazy, but it is what it is. He always shows up, and he's a world class player. I mean, he has played his best years in Man United, and he's at 30, still running his socks off. I mean, what a player! What a player! What a player! So many things he's doing for the club to show that. I mean, he has something to give for Man United, especially in the deep line playmaking role. Number 4 is Ayden Heaven, basically. An injury concern for Ayden, promising start, but it has been cut short. Heaven, who has impressed in recent games, suffered a serious looking injury after a challenge with Patson Daka. Or actually, Patson Daka challenged him, and it was so bad that the Sky Sports refused to show a replay of what happened. But the young defender had been solid in the first half, but the injury forced a reshuffle in United's defense. And then also, it is a blow to the depth of our squad. Ayden Heaven's injury is a setback for Manchester United, and as he had been growing into his role, his absence will test the squad's defensive depth, especially with key games coming up, especially in the next game against Nottingham Forest. I don't look forward to that game because Nottingham Forest are also in an upward trajectory, but it is what it is. We have to move on, and we have to hope that players will be back in this international break and all of that. If you haven't watched it, some of the shorts I were posted on the channel. We're talking about our Marines' plans for the international break. And then the next one is defensive resilience, our first clean sheet in a while. A solid defense. Despite Heaven's injury, United's defense held with Matthias de Ligt making crucial interventions, as I stated in the player ratings. The back line dealt with, Leicester's limited attacking threats, keeping a clean sheet for the first time in a long time. I mean, we've been doing so well against big teams, against the bigger teams, but the not so big teams, we don't do well. We tend to concede, we tend to struggle, and then we tend to pick up form in the 60th to 70th minute. But this time around, we scored first half goal, at least for the third game running, we scored the first half goal, and we try to keep a clean sheet as well. So it is what it is. Number six, obviously. Then no, moving on. Speaking of the defense and resilience, I mean, reshuffle for heaven's injury with Nusa Mazraoui moving to the left center back position and Toby Collier coming in at right back showed the team's ability to adapt under pressure. But I felt like that also made the team seem a little bit imbalanced. But then, as I was just talking about it, barely 10 minutes later, Amorim brought on Harry Amass, to play as left wing back while we moved Dalo to right wing back. And then the team now found its balance with Toby Collier going back into center defensive midfield with Casemiro playing in the CDM role. And then we had Joshua Xerxes and Bruno Fernandes playing as the two tens. So it just kind of showed us that, we are versatile, but we need to actually, evolve as a team and all of that. So, which brings me to number six. Speaking of Harry Amass, his senior debut, a special moment for Amass, who's made his senior debut on his 18th birthday, coming on as a late substitute. I mean, came on at the 69th minute. And now it was also a proud moment for the young defender and a sign of Amorim's willingness to trust youth. Everybody's waxing lyrical about that on social media right now. And then it's also a sign of the bright future that is coming. Even though it's a brief cameo for Amass, he really played well. The stats say so. And his debut is a positive step in United's academy, and highlights the club's commitment to developing young talent. I mean, Amorim has been known to develop young talent. Look at Giovanni Quenda now going to Chelsea, already deal signed and all of that. So it is what it is. And then number seven, last but not least, Leicester's struggle highlights United's dominance. The routine victory showed that Leicester was in poor form, but the lack of attacking threats made it relatively comfortable for Man United to win. Obviously, they had Jamie Vardy, who is also good, and he also scores against United as well. If you remember that goal where he beat, I think, Van Nistelrooy's streak of scoring goals back to back. And then, they have not, but now they've lost seven straight home games without scoring, and a record in English top flight history. Now, I felt bad for Leicester, not because of the team, but because of Ruud van Nistelrooy. But it is what it is, right? We have to just do what we have to do to move. And then they're already dubbing him the worst coach in Premier League, but that's nonsense because we've had worse coaches in the Premier League, and he's not bad, especially considering his coaching history in the Premier League and in PSV. But it is what it is. Now, with that, one of the positives from that game for Man United's dominance is the clinical finishing. United took chances well, as I stated in the match preview. I said if we can score a first half goal, that would help us, thrive and try to, win the game and all of that. But we took our chances. Hojlund, Garnacho, and Fernandes, all scoring or finding the net. It was good that we scored goals, but we just need to reduce our goals difference from the -3. We have considered 40 goals and we've scored 37, which is not good. We have played 29 games. We've won 10, which leads us to 30 points. And then we've drawn 7, right? So, drawn 7 and lost 12. So, it is what it is. So, we're now on 37 points, basically. So, we just need to drop down those goal difference. And I mean, look at Tottenham under us, who have 34 points. They have 12 goals. So they scored 55 and they conceded 43, so plus 12. But they just conceded more goals than we have and scored more goals than we have. But it is what it is. We're on top of Tottenham, and that's what's most important. The next target is to get to above Crystal Palace or Brentford. It is what it is. We have to just win the next couple of games. So we have 9 games to go, I believe, but it is what it is. So United's 3-0 win, 3-0 win over Leicester City is a positive step forward. And with key players like Hojlund, Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes, Joshua Xerxes, we even had Casemiro playing well and the manager waxing lyrical about him. We even had Nusa Mazraoui playing well as well. And then Matthias Delict, showing things at the back. And then now, going into the international break, because it mattered a lot, the team showed up. Now, going to the international break gives us momentum. And then the injury to Ayden Heaven is also a concern, but we hope that there's positive news. And I wish Ayden quick recovery, you know. And then fans will also be hopeful that the performance can also be the turning point for this season as United look to climb up the table and finish the campaign strongly. Hopefully we can be able to do that and they carry the same momentum into the Europa League because I think after Tuesday's game against Nottingham Forest, the next week is going to be the Europa weekend. And then we still also face Man City. No, not the Europa weekend, Europa League week, which is the next week. But we also face Man City around the same time, if I remember correctly. I think we face Man City around the same time. So if we look at our next couple of games, it's going to be super interesting and it's going to be super, important that we need to, win those games and all of that. So we face Nottingham Forest next, and then after that, we face Man City the next Premier League weekend, which is literally 5 days later at home at Old Trafford before we now go to the Europa League and then face EFL Cup winners, Newcastle United, and then go back again to play Lyon in the Europa League. Then we have, so for April, we have Man City, Olympic Lyon, Newcastle, Olympic Lyon again on the 17th, and then we have Wolves, and then we have AFC Bournemouth. All these games are, for me, revenge games, especially with Newcastle and Wolves and Bournemouth. But I think we should be able to try. But let me know in the comment section how many points we're going to get from the Man City, Newcastle, and the Wolves and Bournemouth game, those 4 Premier League games, including the Nottingham Forest 5. So we have Forest, Man City, Newcastle, Olympic Lyon, Wolves, and Bournemouth. 5 Premier League games. Let me know how many points we can get. 5 or so. We expected that we're going to get 15 points from all of those. But out of 15, how many do you think we can get? Man City are not in good form now, so they're there for the taking. Not first. Anyway, that's not something we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about in another show. But yeah, so basically, the victory provides momentum heading into international break. But fans are hopeful that this performance will be a turning point for the season as we look forward to climbing the table, as we stated earlier, and finishing the campaign strongly. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about these takeaways and about the future for Manchester United in this Premier League season. Is it possible that we're going to salvage our season again? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.